Hey, it's Matt, your average gamer, and this is the Executioner build. This uses the Executioner's Great Axe, which you can get from some of the skeletons that drop them. I'm going to show you exactly where to get it in this video, along with how to utilize this thing best. Now, in recent patches, they've made axes better than ever, and the Executioner's Axe benefits from crit damage. It has a higher than normal base crit damage, and it does a lot of damage because of this. So I'm using two different builds here. I'm going to show two different builds in this video. The first one's going to use the already overpowered Flame of the Redmane. Now, I wanted to avoid this one and lean more towards the second one that I'm going to show you, but it's just so powerful with this combination that it can't be ignored. Yes, Flame of the Redmane is quite overpowered. It's a very powerful Ash of War that does a lot of posture damage and damage in general. But the Executioner's Great Axe benefits even further from that. Because of the fact that it has a higher than normal base crit, it can do immense amount of crit damage, and that allows it to really take advantage of the posture breaks and the amount of critical hits we can do with this thing, and honestly just maximize our damage potential here, which is huge with these axes. They're actually quite good. They may even be the most overpowered axe in the category. They're not quite good to look at, I will admit that. They kind of have that rusty look like the Rusted Anchor, so they're not the best looking thing. I'm not out here for good armor sets or anything like that to like look good. I don't really care that much about cosmetics personally, but for people that do, yeah, these things are kind of ugly, and I've heard from a couple of other people that they don't really go with a lot of the armor sets in the game, or they kind of look off. I don't think that matters, and it's really, I guess, it's a matter of opinion at the same time, but it does not matter too much because they do massive damage, they do a lot of crit damage, and they're awesome in general. So where we get this is at lake-facing cliffs. Now, that's the beginning of Liurnia of the Lakes, and it's not too hard to find. There's a little ridge west of the church there. You're going to go up that ridge. I'm going to show you exactly how to get there now on horse or on foot. Either way, you're probably going to want to go on horse, though, if you're farming these. Now, there's 3 places to farm these. All 3 places, I believe, have 1 each, so it's all kind of comparable. And this one's pretty close to the site of grace here, so not a big deal. This was the one that I personally went for. And then you kill him, and he will eventually drop it for you. He didn't drop it on this specific go, but that is the one right there. He's holding the same axe as me, and make sure he dies a second time so he doesn't get back up. He does do a good amount of damage on the later journeys, I can tell you that, because he's got a very, very good axe. So for this awesome setup that you see here, we have 2 of the Executioner's Great Axe, Flame of the Redmane with fire. We have the Black Dumpling, Dragoncrest, the Dagger Talisman, Shard of Alexander, Ritual Swords Talisman, and then we have the Fire Tear. You can throw the Charged Attack Tear in there too if you want. And we have the Raptor's Black Feathers for that extra jump attack bonus that piece of armor gives, which is pretty awesome that it does give that. And that can combine with the Jump Attack Talisman. I'll show you something on that later. Now, for the stats here, this is how my stats look. All in all, it's pretty self-descriptive. They're not bad here. You want at least 60 strength. 50 vigor is good enough for me. Maybe you want 60 vigor and you want to rework some of that stuff. I'd recommend at least 40 or 50 vigor and 60 strength. These are going to scale mainly from strength unless you change it to a dex weapon with something like a lightning affinity or turn it into quality or keen. Anyhow, I'm mainly rocking this as strength, and fire also scales with strength. So for the next one, we're going to go in the second build now. As you saw what I just did there, what we did was we're using Royal Knight's Resolve, and we're activating both of them on our first hit. You can activate the other one by using the offhand first and then going back to the regular hand. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. So before I go over equipment at the end here, I just want to say, if you're not subbed to my channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. There's so much great content on there. There's going to be a lot more on the way. I'm always doing cool builds, different things that you can do for PvE, and eventually I'll be getting back into PvP as well. This community has been growing. I appreciate everybody that's on here. Definitely hit that sub button for the latest awesome builds. So at the end here, I want to show how to use them on both hands, because some people might not know how to do this, and then we'll go over equipment. You can actually use Royal Knight's Resolve on both. It's not too bad. I'm on Xbox here. For Xbox, you would hit Y and LB, and then you would hit Y and LB back, and just make sure you use the Ash of War on both of them so that you get both and you can do maximum damage. Not too bad there. Now for equipment, we have dual Executioner's Great Axes with Royal Knight's Resolve instead of Flame of the Redmane. So there was one mistake here when I was putting this video together. The Shard of Alexander does not boost Royal Knight's Resolve. I just had forgotten to take it out and put Dragoncrest in. You would do that, or Poison Proc in that spot. Use Ritual Swords Talisman, Fire Scorpion Charm, Claw Talisman, and then we have the Fire Tear and any additional tear that you want to use. If you're not subbed, definitely sub to this channel. There's a ton of awesome builds on there and a whole bunch more on the way. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll catch you guys there.